A famous Highlander once said, "There can only be one." Unfortunately, the producers of this movie did not listen to that Highlander. We saw Highlander II, The Quickening, so you know what that means.
Schwarzenegger grow a baby in his belly, rock a rhinestone vest while whipping Justin to Kelly, or maybe see a burlesque show with Nick Crow and take a boat with speed to hitting cruise control. J-Man, Big Paul in the beautiful June, gonna take you from the goob all the way to the room. Ran the games of Street Fighter, helped to blow off steam, just a sucker punch the odd life of Timothy Green. Sharknado to Birdemic, how we staying alive. They call it in the badass and he's on the line, cranking 88 minutes cause they cool as ice, cause a bad Jim Varney looking kinda nice. Paul and June getting literal, Jason is getting laid. June is making sure all the monkey shots getting paid. They judge a bunch of movies while they're making the grade. Here's a real question for you, how did this get made?
Hello, people of Earth, and hello, people of Largo. Welcome. We are here at Largo at the Cornet, our LA home for our live shows, and we are so excited to talk to you about another sequel. Following in the brave footsteps of Grease 2, a sequel made about years late and not asked for. But unlike Grease 2, this movie makes zero sense. So here to help me dissect Highlander 2, The Quickening, I will tell you, I have some amazing people. Number one, please welcome Jason Mantzoukas!
What's up, jerks?
What's up, Jason?
How are you, Paul?
I am excited.
Oh, thrilled to be here.
Very rarely backstage do we stop ourselves from we couldn't even talk about this on the basest of levels backstage.
I came in hot. I was like, I want to talk about this. As of right now, starting go.
You were talking about it in your car on the way over.
Talking to myself. Just ranting and raving.
Probably like the screenwriter.
Why can't I get porcupine hair? It's one of the things I said to myself.
Well, we will find out that and much more. But first, let me introduce my other co-host, the wonderful, the talented, the June Diane Raphael. Welcome, June.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, Paul. How are you?
Very well. How are you? June, I will say...
Backstage, too, you guys introduced yourselves to each other.
Yeah.
June and I's relationship is... How many introductions would you say do we give each other in a day? Like a random day? 12?
About 12.
Just to be clear, is introductions a euphemism?
No, it's, they say it's like the key to a successful marriage, to really see someone anew every time.
Identify yourself at all points.
Yep.
I'll say, hey, June, it's Paul. And she'll say, it's just June. And we'll move on with our day. I will say...
In the backstage, you were like, I think we've met before.
She looks damn familiar to me.
You'll place me sometime.
I will say, June, and I'm not saying that I was above it at all, but watching this movie with you was particularly enjoyable simply because it was like watching a person who never has studied take an SAT. And there was frustration, and there was anger, and there was yelling.
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
This is what I'll say.
I feel like it's the picture of the woman in Times Square in Westworld. Like, it caused you to short circuit.
What? I kept on saying, I don't know how many times I said to you, do you know what's going on? Like, I felt very scared that I had missed so much. But here's the thing. I didn't understand any of it, but I also didn't care to understand it.
Yeah.
That's the other part of that, and it's so important. I didn't care to, and that's what made me angry.
Well, buckle up. Joining us tonight, A very special guest. You've seen him in the movie Office Christmas Party. You can watch him on the television show Veep. He has a brand new Comedy Central show called The Detroiters coming out in February. Please welcome Sam Richardson.
Hi.
Welcome. Welcome, Sam. And I apologize, because this is a tougher movie than we normally do.
I don't know what it was. It could have been forwards or backwards.
I, at some point, wrote, was this cut out of order?
I wrote...
Michael Ironsides appears to be able to be everywhere at once.
I wrote down
Right?
this, and
Michael
I mean
Ironsides?
it
That's his
with
name, right?
100% sincerity. This is not for comedic effect. Majority of this film, I spent not understanding anything that was going on.
Okay, well, I'm so happy to hear that for this very reason. Early on into the movie, I realized something very important.
Okay.
I have never seen Highlander. As such, I was like, oh, this must be all Highlander stuff that I'm not aware of because I didn't see Highlander.
Now,
It's
I'm
all
glad to
insider
hear
jokes.
that you guys also felt like it was absolute gobbledygook.
well, let me tell you something, Jason.
Tell me, Paul.
If you were a Highlander fan, you also would not understand
Okay,
it.
good.
Because apparently what has happened is they decided, well, yeah, Highlander was good, but we can't just continue those characters. Let's just get rid of everything that we set up and create a brand new world.
Does
So there's
Highlander
nothing-
take place in 2024?
No.
What?
Literally,
This is not the world of the first movie?
not at all. I'm being very serious.
Whoa!
There is nothing about this movie that is
wow.
like technically a
The
sequel.
first movie,
Yeah.
Travel Time.
Well, the first movie goes back to the days of
Olden
actual
days.
Highlanders.
Yes.
Okay.
But then it's just 1985, and then the 1500s or
Right, yeah, they go they're in the Scottish Highlands.
Yeah, exactly. Like
But the-
Scotsmen.
But sometimes
Gotcha.
when they're in the Scottish Highlands, he's got a machine gun.
That made no sense.
I couldn't crack that at all.
Well,
That was like some Zardoz level nonsense.
well, it's interesting.
It isn't.
Well,
Whatever's about to follow, I guarantee is not interesting.
well, here's what I will put down, and I'll just throw it out there because I think it's worthy. Because there's probably some people who watched the Renegade edition, which is the director's cut, and there's some people who probably just watched regular Highlander 2, The Quickening.
Ugh,
The
this
big
makes me-
difference.
By the way, this all makes me sick. Like, all these words make me fucking sick. Fucking hate this. I hate it.
The big difference that they made with this movie was that in the sequel, the Highlanders are from the planet Zeist, and they are coming from another planet to come to Earth.
What?
Yes. Now the
Wait, that's
Renegade
this-
cut
that's this
cuts
movie?
that out. Yes. They don't.
Wait,
in this movie, they shot it, in theory, going interplanetary travel?
Yes.
As well as time travel?
So the Highlanders live in another planet, and they
do.
come here.
So they don't live in the Scottish Highlands.
Which,
They
Not
by,
live
like
by
the
the
first
way,
movie.
Not like
that
the first
might
movie. Yeah.
that might explain
Oh,
why
I
he
see.
had a machine gun, because that was not
Yeah, on that
olden
planet.
days. That was current
Current Zeist days.
Zeist
Yeah.
days, just on another planet.
No,
Okay.
See, I
Nice.
didn't know that watching this, and I'm so glad that because I was watching that movie I'm gonna do a bad job with this because I'm the only one who doesn't understand what's happening.
No,
I
this
felt
is yeah.
like I didn't understand why Christopher Lambert was old.
Lambert.
I didn't understand why he kept falling asleep in the opera. I didn't understand why the opera was being terribly lip synced.
Terrible. Like they spent so much money on that opera house, that stage.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Just get the fucking opera singer.
Just sing the fucking song. And then I also felt like he was flashing back to this other, now I'm realizing, planet where he is like the Neo of the Highlanders.
But the Renegade
This better
cut
be
cuts
interesting.
the Renegade cut does not allow you in on that fact. Like
Oh.
you can't
What
get
is the
that.
Renegade cut?
The one that we watched. That's the director's version. The director was
You watched Renegade?
the best. Lorenzo Lamas? No.
Wait, that's the cut you watched, I mean?
Well, that's what it's called. The Renegade cut.
cut.
If you watched it on iTunes.
I didn't.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't. I watched it on Hulu.
Oh. You might have watched. Well, we'll find. Well, if you don't know about the Zeiss, do you know about Zeiss?
I know nothing about
I
Zeiss.
don't
you
know
probably
anything
watched-
about Zeiss.
Then if you watch the Renegade cut,
Oh.
you don't know about.
Okay,
Zeiss.
yeah. Okay, I was like,
Paul, what is Zeiss?
Stop it. I
What
hate it.
is Zeiss?
I will just
A lot
say,
of words I
just,
didn't
just
know
so
in
you
here.
understand like what's going on here that makes it
Well, if
different.
you say Zeiss again, I'm going to punch you right in the nose.
I don't want to hear Zeist. I don't want to hear Renegade. I don't want to hear Quickening. I don't want to hear Highlander.
When we were,
We're gonna
when
have a
we
tough
were over
time,
there,
man.
when we were over there watching the trailer and it goes Highlander II, the Quickening. June goes, the Quickening? Didn't know that was the name of the movie. And I was like, I get it. Why would you?
Well, let's hear what the producer has to say about this movie and how you can enjoy it.
It's a sequel because the characters do pick up 25 years later from when the first movie ended, and we had to resolve those issues. But it's also a picture that stands completely by itself. It is a story that has a beginning, a middle, and an end, leaves us with an opening to go forward, again, for another picture. But if you've never seen the first Highlander, you should be able to, we felt, watch this one, understand it, and enjoy it.
You are wrong.
Absolutely not.
You can tell he's like sick of asking that question. Like,
feel like he's-
I don't know.
Well, here's the problem. Then the first movie, Sean Connery dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that, yeah.
That's a big like part of the movie.
Yeah. And for the second movie, Christopher Lambert was like, well, I like Sean Connery. We should bring him back. And they're like, well, he's dead. He's like, well, I won't make this movie. And they're like, all right, we'll bring him back.
Was Highlander 2 that big of a success? I mean,
No.
Highlander
Highlander.
1, I'm sorry. Did it necessitate this kind of, like everybody was clamoring for that Highlander sequel?
I don't have that research in front of me. Yeah. I would imagine that people wanted. I mean, Highlander seems like a movie people talk about.
People talk about it. It had a great Queen soundtrack. Everybody
Yeah.
loved. You know, but I don't know if the TV show was inspired by like The Quickening or if it was from.
Well, it's like a
what
crazy
was,
idea,
what was
'cause
the
it's like
Highlander
you're-
about?
What?
What was the Highlander about?
Sam, you could probably take
Yeah, I
this.
think I'll don on the explanation hat. Connor McLeod.
Played by Christopher Lambert.
Played by Christopher Lambert. Was a Scottish Highlander and the leader of a tribe. I can't remember the name of the tribe, but they're warring with another tribe. He's in
The
war.
Clan MacLeod.
That's the name of his clan, and he's
Oh,
fighting with
sorry,
clan
yeah.
other guy. And then in a battle, he gets harmed, and then he recovers overnight, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's a witch." Turns out he's one of these Highlanders who cannot die unless their heads are removed.
But he didn't know that.
He didn't.
So he's just finding out in the moment.
He's like, "What? Wait a minute! What's all this?"
Uh-oh, zoinks, I'm immortal.
And he like,
And then how does he get to 1985?
he's been living lives, not dying. And the way it is, it's like two Highlanders. There can be only one. That means it's hard to explain.
Don't worry about it. One of these fucking nerds will help us
I know.
if we need it.
I want to see if I can do this. So like they have to all. There's a bunch of Highlanders who are these immortal beings who like, but then they do battle because there can be only one. They have to, so they all fight each other over time, and they kill each other by removing their heads. And then what happens is the quickening, where like electricity goes, and they gain like
That's the
power
quickening.
That's the quickening?
from these.
So they take like the essence of the dead Highlander.
Yeah,
'Cause
I hear
saw
people like,
that happen.
no, am I wrong? Is that not right?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Something's feeling right about
You know,
So they basically just took.
This isn't
fact-
helping me understand the movie I watched any
No.
better. But like, thank you.
So Sean Connery's head is chopped off at the end of that movie?
yes, because he's a Spaniard who comes
He
in.
is.
He's
Ramirez.
I have an
Ramirez,
update.
who comes
an
to like
update.
teach
He
him
is
the
not.
ways of the Highlander.
He is
and,
not a Spaniard at all.
and he teaches him like about Highlandering. and then has his head chopped off as a huge,
Yeah, right. That's a
moment.
moment.
Like, oh no,
Okay.
now I've got to avenge my master.
It's like
just
the
a
Obi-Wan
couple more
Kenobi
questions.
moment.
Yes,
a couple
exactly.
more questions.
Yeah, uh-huh.
So, like, on a day-to-day basis, like, what does a Highlander do?
It's a lot of wrist training for like a lot of spins like this.
They're warriors,
They're
though.
warriors.
Like,
They're warriors. It's like
but
conditioning.
then when
So-
not Highlanding, they are titans of industry and developing
Okay, so they're
earth-protecting
warriors.
shields.
Well, no,
Exactly.
that's,
Oh my
that's what
God.
I'm trying
Well,
to
this-
get at, which is like, what do they want out of life? You know,
Yeah.
what do they?
They just want to keep that head on, baby.
Is
They just wanna
Exactly.
keep that head on.
So they're
Exactly.
living a life of fear, knowing at one point someone's going to come around and try to chop their head
Trying
off.
to chop the head off. That's why you
But-
always have a sword on.
but-
You have to be a Highlander to fight a Highlander. Like you don't take on a Highlander to gain immortality. You have to be also immortal.
I think you already have to be in the club. You
I
can't
get it.
get it. You can't get access to it from the outside.
so
so
with this
this-
phrase, there can only be one. Sorry, Paul.
So
Yeah,
yes, so they have to battle each other until for all time until
There's one left.
There's one left, and then they win what's called the prize. What?
What? The prize?
Yeah, and I'm murky on what the prize is.
Does anyone know the prize? Mortality.
That's right, mortality. Because also
So you can die. The
I would
gift is
imagine,
death.
yes,
The
that
gift is
most
death.
of them are tired of living.
Yes.
And
Yep.
would
Like
love
all of
to.
us.
Yeah. But why? Hey, okay. Another question. If I'm a Highlander and I want to, end it all, I can't kill myself via decapitation.
I don't think they addressed it in the film.
The suicidal tendencies of Highlanders.
Highlanders.
So that movie takes this beautiful history and flushes it down the toilet. They just keep the head knocking off part of it. Like that's really the only part that we really get, I guess.
Wow,
And
that
the
is
names.
wild.
And the
Yeah.
names.
And the names.
Because he doesn't even seem to be that surprised when Sean Connery pops up and like, oh yeah, your head got. There was no.
And he's like,
hey!
whoops, here I am.
Ramirez, my old friend.
Can I ask another very basic question about this movie? Why do they want the shield down?
Oh, okay. This is now about the sequel.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, I understand that. So basically, this will help us because I again, it's one of those movies like when you see in the beginning. This is now become a trope of a How Did This Get Made movie, where the opening text makes a lot more sense at the end of the movie, and I feel like they should replay the opening text maybe midway through or at the end to be like, oh, right, yeah.
Every 10 minutes, just pop
Yeah.
that thing up there.
Yeah.
More text crawls is what this needed. It needs to be like a silent movie. Just like indiscriminately throughout the movie, just text blocks.
Well, I mean.
The year is 2024.
So the first one, the year is 2024. Second one, industrial pollution has destroyed the ozone layer, leaving the planet at the mercy of the sun's ultraviolet rays. An electromagnetic shield now protects
Which,
the Earth.
by the way, is also in Escape from LA.
Yes.
The same idea of like the UV tomorrow is going to be real bad.
It's right all there. I mean, this is what everyone's afraid of, the UV rays.
Yeah.
And it goes, a small group believes that the ozone layer has repaired itself and that the shield is no longer necessary. But no one knows for sure.
No, I read that, Paul. I got that.
You got that?
I got that.
So?
So I understand that they're not sure, but what I don't understand is why that other guy is keeping the shield up if there's no, what are they gaining from it?
Oh,
Is it
money.
money?
Yeah, I think, wait, you're talking about the bad guy?
John McGinley.
Yeah.
John McGinley?
John-
Yeah. He's making money. His company makes money.
So, okay, I guess here's the question. Are we to believe that the world has fallen into, that people are, just turned into animals and there's despair everywhere because of this shield?
Well,
Because they can't see the sky?
I do think that is a little bit what what's her name, Louise?
Yes.
Says to him is that nobody has seen the sun, everybody.
And
People
when he
grew
talks about
up
that,
at
when
this point
she
without
talks
ever
about the sun, she almost gets like real horn dog for it. Like she's like, "Oh, tell me
Yeah.
about the clouds." And
Well,
I'm
that's
like,
like foreplay for them.
and what like did video cassette players or DVD players not exist? Like, could they not watch?
Go back and look.
Yeah, I feel like there'd be a book around or
Like
something.
a picture.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got TVs in their cars. You'd think they'd have a way to watch stuff from the past. It's 2024.
So, okay,
right?
I guess the other question is, so how is the corporation making money off the shield?
Charging countries.
Oh.
For protection. It's protection money.
Ozone protection.
Yeah.
Oh,
But then that shield comes down. But it's tough because that's one of 5 plots that are running concurrently
I'm a
and
sap.
told to you with not the proper backstory.
And part of
in the beginning, Christopher Lambert is doing his best Jean-Claude Van Damme doing an old man, which is like talking like this.
But like still the same speed that he would speak in as a young man.
Yeah.
But it's
Just
But that man,
back in the day.
but when he has to move, he is sprightly.
Yeah.
Also, like, yeah, because like in the beginning, like you see him look down at this old man and he kind of tips his opera goggles to him. But we don't know who the
Opera
fuck that
I don't know
goggles?
who that guy is.
Right? Does he, or does he,
It's like
does
a
he have
cross.
goggles or is it glasses?
Did you bring your
Sorry.
opera goggles?
Sorry, it was glasses. It was glasses.
I want to be able to see the opera that's happening underwater.
It's 2024. You love that shit.
Opera
It's
goggles
underwater
possible,
opera.
2024.
That's why it looked like it was dubbed. So Christopher Lambert, so he's old at this point. Now, just to go back to the first movie,
Hey, yeah.
do they get old?
No, but he won the prize, right? Is that right? So he won
he's
the
gotta
prize.
get old.
So now he ages and
So when he gets that cut on his hand and he sees it heal like Wolverine, he's like, shit.
he's like, shit. Here we go again. Essentially, is what he's.
And there's no reason to why he lost the prize.
Yeah.
No, in this they say, in this thing, they say, the priests say to Michael Ironside, right?
Yes.
Both of these movies have like all of my favorite character actors from
the
this
best.
era. Like when because I watched this one first, Michael Ironside, and I was like, oh yeah, Michael Ironside's the original Powers Booth. And then in the next movie, Stacy Keach, and I was like, Stacy Keach, the original Powers Booth. I was like, these are titans of villainous character actors from the 80s and 90s. I was so happy.
There's so much, and I think John C. McGinley falls in that category too. So much beautiful scene chewing. It's like, and even Sean Connery is like, fuck it. Like,
People are acting their asses off in this movie.
But the priests say to Michael Ironside, he's not chosen whether he's going to grow old and die or whether he's going to come back here, which is apparently something called Zeiss, which is where they are, and I'm assuming fight Michael Ironsides for supremacy, right?
yeah, I guess that's part of the thing.
Here's my question: When after that moment, when he gets zapped,
Then Michael Ironsides is like, well, I guess I'll go to him then.
right? But when he gets zapped, he's going to the future, correct?
Correct.
So he's not aging. Okay.
Yeah.
He starts aging in the future from whatever age he was at the moment he was zapped into that
Correct.
place.
I think at that point, I'm assuming. Well, at that point,
I don't
when
know,
at that point when
because
there's
then-
2 Highlanders, aren't they both immortal?
Yes.
I mean, there can only
Here's
be
the
one.
thing. I think we're going to be unsatisfied if we think we're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Well,
I
here's
think
why we'll
that's
never.
a- I
Here's
think
why we'll
that's a
never
reality.
figure it out. They shot 3 endings. There are 3 cuts of this movie, and the director left at a certain point. So there are some giant plot holes in it. As a matter
When
of
he
fact,
kills both the Porcupine Boys, and what I've now found out is the Quickening. The Quickening happens, and he absorbs their power. Mm-hmm. There is an explosion of energy all around him. Cars explode, windows are blown out.
Yes.
The number of civilian casualties that must have died simply so that he could become young, handsome Lambert again.
it was worth it.
It was worth it.
And it seems like it both hurts him when the Quickening happens, and it seems like he's coming.
Which is like sex.
Yeah.
That is sex. Just take a listen to this. This is another clip from the documentary of the making of this movie about the actors understanding the movie.
I'd never been in and have never since been in a situation where the plug was pulled and you actually thought to yourself, well, hang on, have we finished the movie?
It was a complete nightmare. All of a sudden, people who had been allowed in the cutting room were not allowed in the cutting room. All the creative shifted. You had a new set of bosses. Different producers came in. At the end of the day, we're just like a horse with a different rider on it. And all of a sudden, this rider was like totally into purely finishing the film from an insurance company standpoint.
Wait.
So you have an actor going, I don't know if we finished the movie.
Wow.
So that would be...
Well, see, that's why I feel like, because there were scenes where Michael Ironside, from scene to scene, was like, okay, for example, in the scene where they they leave the Max prison, guys, I don't fucking care about the order of this movie.
Yeah.
I don't think they did. So they run Michael Ironside over with the truck. Louise is like, ha ha, that was amazing. Then he fights Christopher Lambert on the truck.
Sure.
They knock him off, and they keep driving. Then they're driving to climb the ladder to see above the shield. Cut to Michael Ironside in a room with John C. McGinley. He's like, we don't have any idea where they're going. Like, you just fell off the car. Like, where were you? Where were you when you fell off the car? They're not much farther from there. Like, why did you come back? Why?
He got an Uber. He went back. He was like, I lost it.
And they have a scene which is genuinely like, John McGinley's like, I don't know. And it's like, how did you get back here so fast? What the fuck is... And I think that's not meant to be there.
Well, of course not. Like, I mean, this movie, like, well,
I think I figured out that this was not a very well-made movie.
I felt like all the fight scenes in this movie was like watching a theme park stunt show.
Right.
Yes.
You know, it was like they would shoot something and like a giant piece of a balcony would fall off, like, gun. And they're like, wait, how would that, like...
And like a sharply cut off piece of balcony.
Yeah.
Like no like fray at the edge.
Yeah.
Just...
Like, you know that there's a guy at the bottom, like, show's over, and it goes right back in the face. Like, everything is just...
And the guy who's on a wire, who's got, like, he's got wings. This is one of the Porcupine Boys. The Porcupine Boys have, one dude's got a hoverboard.
Yeah.
And that shit is nonsense. When Lambert jumps on the hoverboard and starts flying around... And then he's being chased by Porcupine Boy with wings.
Yeah.
They're both moving so slowly. They're both moving at such slow, deliberate paces. It's shitty beyond belief.
Now, I'll tell you who was really nervous about that hoverboard scene, Robert Zemeckis, because Back to Future 2 is not out yet, and they're like, oh shit!
Oh no!
So they got real freaked out from Highlander. If Highlander 2 gave us anything, they gave us cooler hoverboards. Marty McFly would have been on these, like,
I felt like this is where, like, the Wachowskis were like, ooh, I know what we can do in Jupiter Ascending. We'll give him... We'll give him flying boots. The problem is the board.
But now... You guys might know this, but when do you think this movie was made? I know when it was, but it doesn't feel like it
2024?
was. 2024?
2024.
I'm gonna say 1987.
Okay.
No, 1990.
Got it.
I'm gonna price this right at 1991.
1991, 100% 1991. But this is crazy because it doesn't feel like these are the movies that were their contemporaries. Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and Beauty and the Beast. Like, this is like, if this feels like, I mean, maybe it's just the fact that they shot it in Buenos Aires. It's like, you know, it's like old cameras.
Taking
like,
taking shots at Buenos Aires.
But weirdly, though, there's a couple of scenes. Like, the scene with Sean Connery where he's trying on the suit. Like, that looks... I love that scene. I mean, I genuinely...
Yeah, I loved
it.
It was the best scene.
Because it
It
felt
its
like
own
a fucking
movie. Exactly.
It felt like a movie, and it looked like a movie.
Yeah.
It was also shot
I was like,
beautifully.
finally, I understand a character's wants in a scene from beginning to end, and they are unchanged.
By the way...
It's not like, I know what he wanted at the beginning of that scene, and then a bunch of nonsense happened, and then I don't know where we are now.
The man simply wants a suit. And I also felt like why didn't they ever make a prank show where Sean Connery just got on stage during Broadway productions and interrupted?
Really
That
funny.
was my
He was
favorite
really funny.
scene.
That was the best. And like by the end of it, the audience was on board.
Oh yeah.
He comes and interrupts the middle of Hamlet. It starts like making fun of Hamlet, and he's interrupting a show, and the audience gets on his side.
Yeah, they start out like this, like, what, this guy? And then he just bows, and they're like, yeah!
Bravo!
That was theater!
Why does Sean Connery land where he lands? Why when Christopher Lambert says, "I need you, Ramirez, my old friend," and thus conjures him, why doesn't
Maybe
Sean
it was like a
Connery
pit
show
stop.
up? Is there something in there that seems to say that the shield bounces him away?
Well,
I have a
interesting.
theory.
oh yeah, okay. Ooh.
I think it's because he was decapitated in Scotland that he returns
Really?
to Scotland.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right,
Okay.
I like that.
The
Answer that one.
nerds agree.
Thank you, nerds.
The odd part of this when he does appear in Scotland, and this is a screen grab, which if you're listening you can't see, is everyone's dressed like they're from the 1940s, which is also hard to like. Oh, so in Scotland they kind of stopped, like they stopped, they went backwards almost because the shield only went up in 1999, so they went backwards in time.
Yeah, you would think they would be dressed. Oh, who cares?
One of my favorite scenes in this movie was early on. There's
Should we see that Hamlet scene, by the way? Is it worth just because we have it, and it's one of my, I think it's the best scene in the movie. Here we go, just real quick.
Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio.
Actually, the name is Ramirez.
Will you get out of here?
I'm a Spaniard.
Excuse me.
A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy.
Forgive me for interrupting your conversation, but
He hath borne me upon his back 1,000 times. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft.
sir, whatever you gentlemen felt for each other when your friend was still alive is certainly none of my affair.
What's your fucking game, shithead?
Shithead? What's a shithead?
That's where he wins over the audience.
That's really like, okay.
My apologies. Enough of this useless banter. I shall be on my way and leave you to converse with your scum. Farewell, dear shithead. Farewell.
And
Also-
the stage manager very upset.
Also,
And also,
good on that actor for watching a man apparate on stage and then trying to continue the scene.
yes.
Professional.
Professional.
And also, when he makes his exit, who's playing the bagpipes?
Well, by the way,
The bagpipes for the Spaniard who has appeared on stage.
they play bagpipes in every scene that he is in. That is like he has like a motif, like it's underneath, like, oh, we gotta play bagpipes, remind people.
Very subtle.
And I also feel like there was a point where Sean Connery was like, the reason why he has that scene where he gets in a suit is just because he's like, I'm not wearing this fucking Highlander outfit. I'm gonna work for 3 days tops, you're gonna pay me $10 million, and I'm gonna wear a nice suit, and guess what? I'm keeping it.
He looks great.
I also just like that Sean Connery is like notorious for picking the wrong movies. Like
It's amazing.
Like he was supposed to be in Lord of the Rings. He's like, no, I'll do League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He was supposed to be in The Matrix. He's like, no, thank you. Like he's turned down every good movie and just been like, yep, Highlander 2. Where do I sign? This Matrix will never work.
Only if you make the origin story that we started on another planet and get zapped here, who knows why. Then I'll do it. That's my Sean Connery impression.
It was great.
I liked it.
I think it's pretty good.
June, I interrupted you before we played that scene. Did you have a thought there before?
Oh, I was thinking the female characters in this movie, are insane. The woman in the bar in an early scene.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, mwah.
I am so obsessed with. It's a performance that unlike anything I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was really quite something.
Like so many facets of it.
I always wanted to meet the guy that turned the world to shit.
Well, he saved our lives, if you ask me.
I'm not asking you.
Okay. What do you want?
Did you ever think about that before you covered the sky with that puke? I work all day and my life stinks, and it's your goddamn fault, you old bastard. Don't turn your back on me.
Hey. There are some people in this world who know when to stop, and some people who don't. Which kind are you?
Okay, Miss Nobody, you're out of here. Come on, come on. Come on, come on.
I'll take it back. No prosthetics.
I'm sorry, Mr. McLeod.
No problem, Jimmy. No problem.
And then she comes back with
What the?
Son of a
I love the
bitch.
runaway.
I love
that she runs away.
Okay, I'm obsessed with her, and I'm also obsessed with the woman on the airplane.
Oh,
yeah.
Obsessed. Also, why does the plane appear to be from the 1940s?
Also on that plane, why is the instructional video come on halfway through the damn flight?
Also, why does it end with a plane crash? Why does the safety video for the plane end with the plane crashing?
Wait.
And
there's a lot of footage of the plane, like, of harrowing footage.
It is, I would argue, worse than any airplane disaster movie you've ever seen.
It's really scary.
Used to calm passengers mid-flight.
Yes. Mid-flight, it is crazy. Sean Connery appears to be like, he also is in the air for like days
Yes.
of movie time. So much happens to Lambert while Connery's in the air. It's, this movie,
But
guys.
I wanted to ask you guys what he meant by this, because they go, would you like some food? They show him some food, and he goes, no, I won't eat anything I can identify. And then he kind of says, like, but that's not always the case.
Yeah.
To a woman.
Yeah, because I can't always identify that puss. Yeah.
I mean, but that's an insane.
Don't get me wrong.
Hey.
I'll chow down on it, even if it's an unidentifiable puss.
And those are the lines that got Sean Connery 2 sexual harassment lawsuits during the filming of this movie over 9 days.
What? What are you talking about? Are you saying that scene in the movie was he didn't know he was being filmed?
I want to improvise a line just a bit.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
But yeah, like that was an odd way to come on to a woman, because it also she kind of liked it. I mean,
She loved it.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen a person laugh harder at anything in my life.
You do have to be like, if you turn down putting stuff in your mouth and you want to get with the lady next to you, you do have to assure her that you do indeed put stuff in your mouth.
June, do you identify with Louise when she sees the raw masculinity of Christopher Lambert? And just...
I have a lot to say about that scene.
Too. I mean, ultimately, it was just like the same haircut, like making out and fucking, like watching like two people have the same haircut.
Do you think that's what was attractive to her, is she saw herself in his hair?
It was just an egotist.
It was like a wild
And
image.
she's just a narcissist?
Just super narcissist.
They do not know each other.
No.
He throws her in a dumpster as an old man, like a child's magic trick. When she comes out of the dumpster, he's a young man, so she raw dogs him.
In the street.
Against a wall in the street. She's like, you were old moments ago. I've come out of a dumpster, you're young, put it inside me.
Now, this
By the way,
What is that?
He does it quite quickly.
Oh, he just goes for it. And by the way, they're just making out. And I was like, okay, cool, maybe a make out. But they are hard making out. She's making out with his chin, and he shoves it in and comes.
Yeah.
He just came. We just watched him come.
Like,
it was quick. It was quickening.
The quickening.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Guys, thank you. Guys, I'd like to accept my howdy for the
No, you gotta wait 2.5 some odd years before the next one comes out.
And here's the thing I'll say on her behalf. First of all, let's not just entirely blame her for this. I mean,
oh no, he's
completely
being
he like attacks her. Okay, but it does seem like there's an energy to this world where people are just fucking in the streets.
Well,
like,
that's in the opening
it's not
scene.
A crazy,
but it starts
crazy
on the opening
thing to
scene.
do.
There's a woman being fucked on a mattress on the street.
That was really
which
disturbing.
was not cool.
No, yeah. I wouldn't say fucked. I would say being raped, right? Yeah.
She didn't seem entirely conscious either.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a real loving
It does seem
this
like
started off real nice. This is like hey, a great meet cute, as you would call it. Very Harry Met Sally
She
moment.
just watched him de-age decades.
And stand out of a fire.
Yes.
But then he'd ask her, who are you? And then they fuck.
She's like, I want some of this. I gotta, oh my gosh. This isn't a very intense scene because that's the only connection between them. And then in the next scene, she explains the entire.
15 seconds. I just counted it.
Oh.
That's 15 seconds of penetration, and he came. I mean, probably he hasn't fucked in like hundreds of years, but that was
No, not
15
true, because we do find out that he's had wives and girlfriends.
Yeah, no, you're right. But like that was 15 seconds of sex. At which point, that's disappointing, I think.
Sometimes Highlanders can't hold it back.
And he doesn't apologize. He's not like, my bad. Give me a minute, I'll go again.
He's proud of himself.
Yeah, he's like, I did it.
Yeah.
He's like, there
can be only one.
The original way.
Yeah, you just lost that, Jason. I'm
the original
so
way Ramirez came in was, Ramirez, I need your help. And Sean Connery from behind, and it's a very awkward scene.
That's not the renegade cut.
He's like, I'll help you, Highlander.
I'll eat anything I can't identify. Seconds later, though, this scene happens, which is, I think, always there are things in these movies, title cards, flying skateboard scenes, and then a movie, and then this point, which is like probably about 30 minutes in, where they just go, okay, shit, the audience is lost. How about this?
Oh, amazing.
See if I can get this straight. You're mortal there, but you're immortal here until you kill all the guys from there who have come here, and then you're mortal here. Unless you go back there, or some more guys from there come here, in which case you become immortal here. Again.
Something like that.
Of course. It would be something like that, wouldn't it?
Even he's not sure.
He's not sure. I think that was the actress legitimately asking and was being filmed.
It was, it was a before they called action. She's like,
and there's a moment there where he looks down at sides and he's like, I don't know.
This whole movie reeks of like additional recording later.
Oh,
like some wide shot there. Say this as quick as you can, Virginia Madsen. Okay, so here's the plot. You came here and I didn't. There's no that's thank God they had that wide shot to shove that all in.
Guys, there's so much to talk about.
Oh,
go ahead, Sam. Sorry.
My other favorite thing about this scene is that he just got back from being an old man. So now he's a young man, and he just got home and he's got denim jeans that fit so sweet and tight. Did they stop at a store on the way home?
Yeah.
Yeah, he really got into it. He knows what he likes.
He walked out of the fire dressed like a fashionable young man.
No, he walked out of the fire in the same clothes as the old man, but the clothes didn't burn.
The clothes,
so
are the clothes immortal?
Oh,
that's an interesting question. Do
it's
we
not
think
even
the
like the Hulk. It's not like the Hulk where his clothes are ripped and tattered. They are complete, just hanging off.
Because that makes total sense.
Yeah. I wanted to also talk about the psychic cooking show.
Yes!
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, it's my favorite part. That's my
Psychic
favorite
cook.
Psychic cook.
So what was going on
Psychic
there?
cook and the airplane video are part and parcel of the same thread
Yeah.
of insanity that's running through this movie.
It's like these two moments of what entertainment is. So again, we're 25 years under the dome. It's 2024, and now there is a psychic cook who's calling ghosts.
And then like cooking next to them as they
Right.
choke each other.
Yeah, that was the thing. Why is that ghost killing the other ghost?
That's entertainment, baby. That's
I couldn't figure this out at
So
all.
it's a world in which ghosts exist and can be broadcast over TV too. Like, that's another part of this world, and that's why probably people are fucking this.
and
movie.
it seems
Fuck
like
it,
a
go
very
super.
highly regarded show.
Huge.
like it felt like they were trying to have those moments like from like RoboCop where
Yes, yeah.
it's like the commercial for the car that electrocutes somebody. It's like, oh, that's like a commentary on what things would be like in the future. This one was just like, also ghosts are in the future. You can eat and see them eat, and they're like see through, and planes crash in the video it instructs.
It's edgy. You get it.
And
You get it.
and the subway goes 700 miles an hour. If you just push it fast
You gotta
enough.
turn the knob.
Why would the subway ever had a gauge that would go?
Why?
2
Why would it be
To
built?
700?
Why would the subway be built to even go that fast?
It makes no sense.
In case businessmen are in a hurry.
700 miles an hour. A man's face it explodes off of his skull because of the speed that the subway is effortlessly capable of achieving.
My question is why didn't Sean Connery take a subway from Scotland to wherever they are?
Great. I love too that Michael Ironside says to the kid, "You want to see how fast this thing can go?" And by the way, real fast is the answer.
Really, very
And
fast.
every single person on that subway dies. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is crazy. And then I was like, oh, wow, they're killing everybody.
Children, I mean,
That little
everybody's
kid is
dead on that
Deadsville.
subway.
Meanwhile, that whole thing too, wait, is this video or is that just the picture?
I have a video of the subway scene.
Can you play it, please?
Yeah.
Only because it happened. This movie has one of the best insane visuals to terrible electric guitar scores combinations of any movie we've ever done.
You know, Sam, you brought up that the first movie, the music was done by Queen. This movie, the music was done by Stuart Copeland from the
From the Police?
Yes.
Oh, by the way, bad on him. Because this is terrible. And I love Stuart Copeland.
Yeah, that's what. All right, here we go. I thought that mother went after her kid in a very lackluster way. The baby carriage rolls down, and she's like trying to get it.
She's like, man, she doesn't cry out like, oh, my baby.
Yeah.
Someone
Say,
stop it.
She's like, oh, crap.
I'd also like to think if I'm a passenger on the train and not the mother of that child, that I would reach out and just stop it.
Oh, there you go. Save that baby.
Let me help you.
Yeah.
What I also love about like these actors are all, I mean, Christopher Lambert gives the most grounded performance, I would argue. Virginia Madsen too, but they were so into the roles that Lambert refused to use fake swords for the fight scenes. And the first time they ever
What?
gave him a real sword, he cut his finger down to the bone.
Oh, my God.
And then Michael Ironside chopped off a part of Lambert's finger. And then Lambert got his tooth chipped. And then Michael Ironside dislodged his jaw in a fight scene. And then after that, they were like, okay, you have to use plastic swords. And they and then still, Lambert has terrible eyesight, so he can't see, and he almost cut off Michael Ironside's thumb. So, and basically his argument was, well, it's hard to do precision thrusts when you're wielding a 22-pound broadsword.
Wow.
So that was his.
But it was worth it. It shows in the film.
Can you, hey Paul,
It.
Paul, can you forward to the end of this scene by any chance?
Yeah, sure.
Not the very, very end, but like the last 15 seconds, maybe.
Yeah. What do we got?
Okay. I want to watch the guy's head explode, and then I want Michael Ironsides' final line if we have it.
Yeah, hopefully we do. All right, here we go.
Hey, Michael. Usually you're gonna. Oh shit.
Do you remember it?
Fuck. So he comes out, looks straight down the barrel of the lens, and goes, "Last stop." Right? Is that what it was? Hold on.
I wrote that. Yeah, I wrote it. Yeah, because every now and then,
everyone's dead. He looks right into camera. It's like he's like, ha 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 ha. Last stop.
They say things. They say things sometimes that feel very bizarre in the world. Like it's like, well, I wouldn't say that.
Okay, especially because and Michael Ironsides and Sean Connery, they do a little bit of business with Sean Connery, but they make no effort to have them be like, what world am I in?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Michael Ironsides just starts driving a train. He was just zapped here from Zeiss.
Yeah.
Or the past. Or the past on Zeiss. I don't know.
I had to believe that he's been zapped there before.
You think?
I think it's possible. Yeah, I do.
Maybe Zeiss have subway trains.
They got subway trains.
Maybe he did semester abroad on Earth
But there
when
are,
he was at Zeiss U.
But there are some odd moments because then when Sean Connery comes in, he kind of makes some sort of weird reaction to a statue, and Christopher Lambert's like, "That's a sculpture." Like,
yeah.
Well, yeah, I think arguably the one thing you probably did have was some sort of like sculpture, like stone carving would be the most familiar thing.
That's not
like,
new.
Yeah, that's not the new thing. It's like, that's a TV. I get. He's like, oh, what is this odd stone thing of a man?
But then, like, also, like, he's here, and then he sees, like, a bus go by, and he's like, whoops, so much for horse and buggies, and then he's like, rip-a-doo-doo.
They're unfazed. I mean, look, John C. McGinley watches Michael Ironside come in and is like, you just kill all these people. He's like, I'm not even moving. and he's just a businessman.
No, he's not just a businessman. He's the head of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, yeah. And then doesn't Michael Ironside, I don't even know what Michael Ironside's doing, but he gets a man's face on the table and is like, he's banding his jaw.
Pulling his head open from his jaw.
And you're just hearing like crack, 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 crack.
I have a real question. Up until now, none of my questions have been real. No. Okay, Michael Ironside, Sean Connery, Christopher Lambert, okay?
Yes.
They all are from the past, also maybe are from another planet.
Yes.
Okay. Regardless, they find themselves in 2024 on Earth.
Yes.
How do they keep finding each other everywhere they go? They are so easily locatable by each other at all times. Do Highlanders know where other Highlanders are?
It's an app.
Oh.
Hang on, asshole. Wait, is that real? Wow, they're drawn to each other.
Drawn to each other.
Wowee, okay. Okay, then actually I'm glad you said that because I was really like, this is shitty that they keep showing up and being like, I found you.
When you say they're drawn to each other, do you mean they have to like sort of put the vibe out there looking for someone, or they're just like naturally?
Well, because I guess their only job is to kill each other, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the theory exists.
So they have like a homing beacon to the guy that they're gonna fight.
And to win the prize.
To die.
To die.
So you're dying either way.
Yeah, exactly.
You're either going to get your head cut off or you're just going to die of natural causes.
Eventually.
Yeah. Not really a great upside there.
How about the fact that when he goes out to fight, Virginia Madsen straight up reads his centuries-old diary.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, oh, what's this big book? Also, like, I'm not a big journal keeper, but Like, he's been keeping the same diary for hundreds of years. It's one book. Does he do like one entry a year?
Highlanders are thrifty. They get, a moleskin notebook.
But I'm also like, hey, don't look at my diary. Yes, I'm immortal, but like, don't worry about it. And she's basically like, so there have been other women.
I did appreciate that he
So,
has.
Who's this bitch?
I did appreciate he had amazing penmanship, which is it's really going the way of the dodo bird.
Yeah.
People don't have good penmanship anymore.
Yes.
What about, was his wife talking to him from beyond the grave too?
When
or
she
is
was
that
all
just-
burned up?
Now, if you are sick with like UV rays, is that what you look like?
I think you're all burned up.
So you've gone outside and you got
You were
burned?
exposed to the sun is, this is what I'm assuming because there were so many people. The sun is too powerful and you get all burned up, and that's why they created the shield, to keep the UV rays out, but to plunge us into a dystopian future of darkness.
Wouldn't it have just been better to start the movie with him creating the shield? Like that. I would have loved to seen that. When you finally get to the idea that he created this
Oh, you mean a shield origin story?
Yeah, you're at least 40 minutes deep.
You're well into it. You know the shield exists.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, here we go. We're gonna turn it on. Like, I know it's on.
Like, yeah, like the better thing that would have been was like, he's visiting his wife, she's dying. Then he creates the shield, and then flash cut
in the
to
middle
the
of it,
opera.
or in the middle of the create. Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry.
So it's like
that's how to start the movie.
That's how you would start it. Just
That's
be
a
like,
great idea.
Here's just, hey, audience, we like you to follow along with us just a tad. Let's build, instead of making it a reveal, which doesn't. The reveal is like, oh, it's beginning to make sense. That's what they're revealing is just.
Have we even mentioned that
storytelling?
Virginia Madsen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is a eco-terrorist? We have yet to mention her flawless break-in at SHIELD HQ, which involves some real nonsense. These people would have been caught instantly.
Everyone seems to give up very quickly.
And everybody gains access to everything very quickly.
Immediately.
That's all.
And, I also legitimately didn't get like when she was like out there and she's changing her clothes. She took off her clothes in the street after her amazing espionage mission, and then there was a phone number and there's a note.
Where did that come from?
His number, and then that was just it. Would it say McLeod and his phone number?
Yeah.
And then she randomly, I thought you were somebody else, and then that's
Who
all they
gave
addressed.
her that number?
Who
no
gave her that
idea.
number? And did she call it?
Wait, for real, who gave her that
I
information?
don't know. I thought maybe
Ramirez?
she found it while she was in.
But I
maybe
feel
it was
like-
a scene that they cut where she found it during that mission. I don't know.
What?
I don't know
Because
where
Maybe
that
the cab driver gave it to him. That cab
She's
driver.
supposed to meet him. It's an address. It's not a phone number. I think
Oh,
it's
it's an address. That's right.
But still, which would lead me to believe she's coming to the bar to meet him where he is when the Porcupine Brothers attack. But why is she sent to meet with him?
Because he created the shield?
By whom, though? Maybe by his
The old
partner?
man?
Yeah, the old
because
man?
that old man was sending messages
Maybe
to
that's who it
somebody,
was.
remember? And then like John C. McGinley was like, I
from
see all
that
those messages.
computer.
Yeah,
they're
that's
sending.
who they send. They send him to prison then.
Yeah. This is hard.
No, those
It's-
messages,
the audience is doing
No,
a lot
no, no.
of work.
Those messages that you're talking about are the messages he was just communicating with. Fuck it.
This
Fuck
isn't a
it.
good
I
movie.
never, and then by the way, just I want to talk about you and I watching this movie together. I'm being serious, I've never seen you get this mad at a movie.
I was really mad.
And
I was
feeling
really
like someone was tricking
mad.
you. Because you said to me, you're like, do you get it? Do you get it? And I said, and then at one point I said, yeah, of course.
I got really fucking mad.
And you would reply like, tell me. Tell me. I was like, because it's more of a metaphor. It's not necessarily a straight story. And you're like, what?
No, because what angers me about you is that you then go on after viewing this to do tons of research about the movie and understand it. And if I did that research, yeah, I'd understand it too. But I'm just with an open heart coming here describing my
Wow.
reactions.
Well, Paul, how does that make you feel? What June just said was how she felt and how she feels what's annoying about you.
That, I guess.
So how does that make you feel to hear that?
I guess maybe I need to have
Guys,
more of an
our time
open
is
heart.
up. I'm so
geez.
sorry.
Wow, you just asked him a
I
question.
know, but I just looked at the clock. And, you know,
Should I be here for this?
Sam, we're so appreciative that you're here. Well, obviously, we have a lot of questions, but we've barely tapped the surface. Now we're coming to you to answer or to ask us some questions, to answer some questions, to make observations.
We're not going to have answers.
You never know.
That is
you never know. You might have a real Highlander head in the house. All right. Okay, here we go. Sir, your name, your logline, Highlander II, the blank, what would you call it? And your question.
Highlander II, what?
All right, I like it. Here's your question.
What the hell was happening with Sean Connery and the fan? Like, could he...
Oh, yeah. Sean
Not
Connery,
the
yeah.
faintest.
When Sean Connery used the Force?
And then he just blew up, like,
Yeah,
the fan
you mean-
didn't crush him, like...
Yeah. No, you mean when he used the Force.
Well, yes, of course.
Well, but then he died.
He didn't get his head
but
cut
then
off.
But my whole theory about
I thought
Sean
for sure it was a beheading device.
That's the whole point of the device.
But I also thought then, like, as like a creative type, I was like, why even bring Sean Connery here? Because the action, if you track Sean Connery's story, it's like he interrupts a play, he gets a suit, he meets Christopher Lambert, and then he kills himself. Like he doesn't do anything. Like,
Well, he helps get Christopher Lambert into the jail by having the both of them get shot 200 times.
By the way,
He could have
Virginia
done
Madsen's in the trunk and
She would be so
somehow
dead.
makes it out alive.
She would be so dead.
How did he get that door open? And where did that come
What
from?
door?
They slipped
Oh, yeah.
out
The
of?
door they got out of.
Magic. Magic is the answer.
well, you're asking a lot of great questions, so I'm going to give you this pamphlet of what happened to Lumpy from the Star Wars Christmas special.
So I left some gifts. There's actually, for you three, there's one that relates to the Star Wars Christmas special.
I don't
for
like it.
Jason. He wants to know what a Wookiee cookie is.
So
It's
I'm
got
sorry.
the ingredients.
We're allowing random bags to just be put on stage. I'm sorry. Largo staff? What's going on? Are we just cool with randos leaving bags on stage? What world are we living in? Guys, come on.
Yeah, also, where's my gift?
All right, ma'am, your name, well, you would subtitle the Highlander II movie.
And can you point out anything that you've left on stage?
So first of all, what's your name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer? Highlander II, the...
Sex too fast.
All right, you're
it works.
I was just wondering, in the scene where Sean Connery goes to the shop to get his clothes, if anybody thought of Pretty Woman at that point.
1,000%.
Yes, but only because I'm always thinking about Pretty Woman.
Also, like, why was...
I thought Sean Connery might say, big mistake.
It's not in the Renegade version, but it's in one of the others. Also, like, why was the main guy being such a dick about that that Scottish print?
Yeah.
He was like, no. But like, well,
Whoa,
you don't know
you
if
know-
he likes it or not.
You know why? Because the other guy kept trying to put Scottish stuff on him, and he knew that he was a Spaniard. And he
But
was
then
like,
but
stop
why
trying
does
to
that
put this
bagpiper
tartan on
follow him around all the time? Here's something for you. This is a little graphic design from someone called Hanksy. He's like Banksy, but with pop culture. Hanksy. All right, yes. Yes, your name, your title, and your question. Here we go. What's your name?
My name is Shane.
Shane. Highlander 2, the...
There should have only been one.
Okay, great. Your question.
Okay, so did you guys notice that when he goes to the bar and the bartender knows him, they cheers to a drink, he's drinking whiskey, the bartender for some reason is drinking a tall glass of milk? And they live in a world where I don't know if they said it in the movie, but I read that it's 99 degrees outside at all times. So he's drinking a tall glass of milk on a hot day.
Gross.
And what's even crazier is I heard it was breast milk. Because that's what everybody's into in 2024. Boob juice.
And they were... I had a terrible joke.
sorry,
I'm not
Jim.
going to say anything. That's a great observation. A lot of research went into that. And you get this notebook that is using the VHS cover of Masters of the Universe done by this guy on Facebook called facebook.com/pieceofwork, WERK. Yes, your name, sir, your subtitle, and your question. What's your name?
Kevin, and it's Highlander II who writes this shit.
Great, love it. Apparently, by the way, an Argentinian financial company who, when the movie started going over budget, they started giving script notes. Anyway, here we go.
That's amazing.
Now, there's really only one Highlander. That's Connor MacLeod. Everybody else is just immortal. He's the Highlander because he's from the Scottish Highlands, right?
Oh. You tell me, bro.
Like a Dracula.
You're speaking more authoritatively than I am.
Yeah, if you say so.
No, but you know, when
He was
Sam
sitting
was
here the whole
describing it, I assumed that they're all Highlanders and they just battle until there's one left.
But then why does Sean Connery call him Highlander?
But what was Sean Connery?
What's Sean Connery?
was actually Egyptian by way of Spain.
Wait, did you hear this?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is crazy because the only Scottish
Everybody
person
shut up
in the
at
movie
that guy.
played a Spaniard.
So the only Scottish person in the movie played a Spaniard or an Egyptian by the way of Spain. So he's a Highlander. So what makes Christopher Lambert special?
Not his acting, I'll tell you what.
Whoa!
Wow!
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Christopher Lambert.
He's over there crying. He's not coming out.
He's so upset at you.
He's hurt.
Ooh, he's not coming out because he's really sad. Wow. You guys, you would have had
crying.
a
He's
whole
crying.
interaction with Christopher Lambert if it hadn't been for that guy.
Here you go.
Wow, Chris.
Oh, Chris, no.
Chris, no, don't. Oh.
No, don't. Oh, boy.
Oh,
Does
he's
anyone-
taking his shit.
Not backstage. Oh.
It doesn't hurt him. It just hurts us. All right.
Does anyone understand the Highlander a little bit more that we could kind of pick your brain? You do. Okay, that was a very authoritative hand raise. Because I do want to understand.
By the way, is it Highlander or Highlander?
And
is it Toyota based on that?
Toyota?
Is it a
So
special
are you
edition they stuck
driving?
with?
Like when you drive a Highlander, is it impenetrable? Like
I'm immortal.
it goes 700 miles an hour.
Hey, was that just another Highlander? Shit, there can be only one.
Remove the engine.
They never went for that tie-in. Toyota,
Yet
really?
Yet another nerd battle of Highlanders on the 101.
All right, so you have some Highlander knowledge. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and kind of finish what the prize is. So not only is it, because mortals are sterile, so he's not going to be sterile anymore, but he's also going to
Wait, whoa. I'm going to ask you to not gloss over that fella.
Sterile?
Mortals are sterile.
He's upset because in the
Immortals.
first one...
Immortals are.
Immortals are. And he's upset in the first one because
Got it.
he has a wife and she can't get pregnant and it's his fault because he's immortal. So anyway, the prize, he becomes mortal, but also he gets to hear the thoughts and become one with nature and hear the thoughts of everybody. So my whole problem with the second movie is how does he not know that people are, misusing what he's trying to do? And anyway, so that just bothers me the whole time.
Yeah.
So upon gaining mortality, he can just get his wife pregnant?
Well, he can become fertile, but he can also hear everything.
Yeah. Got
So
it.
at the end of the movie, the prize is he's going to know everything going on. Like he can hear the thoughts and everybody, and he's supposed to help bring humanity together. Or something.
Got it. So he's like Professor X.
Yes.
Without the room, without Cerebro.
Yeah. Okay.
And he can walk, as was pointed out here.
But then he doesn't have a baby.
And can walk? Hey, dick move, bro. Thanks for the explainer, but you don't have to take Professor X to task for being in a wheelchair, bro.
And you have a good question? Okay, come here. And I always like when someone pimps out one of their friends. Here we go. Your name, your subtitle, and your question.
My name is Jenny. It is Highlander II, The Confusing.
Ooh, I like that.
And I want to know where Sean Connery gets his wham, his walking around money. Because I know that he traded,
It was
we're
his
going back
earrings.
to shopping. Right, no. But that earring is definitely not worth, at best, $500, right?
Whoa.
Not as much as that suit. And then he gets on a plane. How did he get to the plane? How did he get that
I agree.
ticket?
How's Michael
That's like
Ironside doing all the same stuff?
I agree. That is a 400 or 500-year-old earring, though.
How much?
They go up in value every 100 years.
And it
by
may be-
So is it a cash?
$500,000.
Is it a cash back thing? Does he give that earring to the suit place? Like, well, I guess we'll pay you $2,000 extra.
Does he take the earring and put it in the cash register?
Yeah.
And is he like,
Is there a
you owe me
barter
change?
system in 2024? Like beads for suits?
Yeah, but then he'd have to get like a cash back at a certain point, or cut that earring up in half.
Right, like shave it.
This is a tough question. This
You
is
know
a good
what?
question.
This is the part of the movie that makes no sense. And that's a bummer because up until now everything has added up for me, but that's a hole that I feel like they didn't address.
By the way, yeah, where did Sean Connery get his wham?
Yeah.
We didn't even think about that.
And it sucks because you loved it, and now your mind's gonna go there.
Yeah,
all
now
the
this
time.
movie's kind of ruined for me. Thanks a lot. Wait, is wham a thing?
I've
Is
never heard
wham
of
a
it,
thing?
and I love it.
Yeah.
So raise your hand if you've heard wham before for walking around money.
Everybody in her row.
Good.
Small group
Okay,
friends.
good.
Her three friends raised their hand.
I was just making sure I'm not insane.
Yeah.
So just
thought it was
to
a
be
new
clear,
thing.
wham is not a thing. You should stop saying it.
She's trying to get it out there. Trying to get it out. I want to come to you guys. You both are wearing the same sweatshirt, right? Oh my gosh, this is great. It's The Room, not the Brie Larson movie, but the Tommy Wiseau movie. And it's a Christmas sweater that says, "You're tearing me apart, Lisa," but it's a Christmas, like a Christmas decorated room sweater. It's awesome. Well, let's talk to both of you. Your name, your subtitle, and your question.
My name is Bree. Highlander II, let's get zeisty.
Like it?
So there's this part where Christopher Lambert goes to see his former partner at the SHIELD office where there's a lot of industrial fans happening. And this computer screen is like this see-through thing. Yeah. And John McKinley walks in the room and they're acting like super secret, like he can't actually just see what's on the screen. And also, John C. McKinley doesn't say a word about the fact that fucking Christopher Lambert, who started this company, is young.
Yeah.
And not.
Nope, barely
Even his
anybody
partner.
does. The partner's like, "You look great. What did you do? A facelift?" He's like, "Something like that." If by a facelift you mean I murdered 2 immortals, I through the quickening gained my immortality back, raw dogged this lady.
Well, now at least we know he can do that without the fear of impregnating her, and it makes that part of the movie a lot more palatable to me.
And now I'm here talking to you, old dude.
I'm also gonna give you a little piece of work for that. And now your name, your title, and your question.
Name's Jim. Highlander II, the Free Men of Zeist.
The what?
The Free People of Zeist.
Okay, got it. Love it.
So this movie with Michael Ironside, his henchmen actually tell him what the plot hole of the whole fucking movie is before he starts anything in the Renegade cut. And he's just like, no, it's fine. Like the Porcupine Men literally say, if you send us back in time, he's going to be immortal again. You could just wait a couple years and he can die.
Yes.
So the whole movie doesn't.
Oh, but
shouldn't even happen.
the priests say that that he could still choose to come back to Zeiss. Oh God. You're right.
But I guess what I took away from that, and again, I don't know a ton about Highlanders, but
wait,
what I
June,
I don't.
Even having now
Highlanders.
watched it.
But what I took away from that was this idea of there can only be one, and if he were to die, he would be the one, right?
Yeah, but
so that's why he went.
But wouldn't there be another
kill
one?
him.
How many? Yeah.
So they don't get replaced.
I don't know if they keep on popping up.
Is Highlander, okay, now I have a question. Is Highlander a thing that throughout time there is always a Highlander? Or is he the Highlander because he's from the Highlands and as a result became the Highlander? Yes?
That was like his...
Okay, hey, guy.
Wow.
Hey, bud.
Whoa.
Hey, bud.
Hey, fella.
Whoa,
hey,
man.
don't shake
The
your
producer of the movie is here, and he...
Christopher Lambert? Okay, hold on one second.
I'm done
Everybody shut
taking
up.
a shit, and now...
Everybody shut up except for the loudmouth. Loudmouth, explain it very concisely.
Wait, but I gotta go too.
I also feel
Really?
like we've
Do we
asked
care?
this question like 10 times.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to hear it again.
Okay,
Where is
he's
it?
over there, Paul. He's on the other. It's
Okay.
that asshole.
All right, I'm gonna go around. going around. Most exercise I've gotten in weeks. There we go. All right, here we go. I'll hold the mic.
So he's the Highlander because he's from the Highlands. Everyone
talk to us like we're idiots.
Yeah, man.
I fucking watched this fucking movie, bro!
Hey! No. Here's what's not happening. We don't come bring the mic to you after you scream from the audience for you to condescend to me. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
June threw down her notebook in disgust.
Wow.
Every member of the stage just got up to fight you.
I want everybody to get a look at this guy so that we know who the asshole is.
All right. So watch your tone and explain this movie to us. All right, here we go.
So the
like
immortals
that.
are like capacitors. They contain energy from the universe, and when they kill each other by beheading each other, they gain the energy of the person they beheaded until there's only one, and he contains all of the leftover energy, which is the prize, which he gets to die.
Wait, so the immortals though are not Highlanders, but the Highlander is immortal.
Can I ask you this? If in the first movie, and I don't know the first movie, obviously I didn't see it. If Sean Connery had killed everybody, would the movie be called The Spaniard? Because he's from
It would be
Spain.
called the Egyptian because he's from Egypt and then went to Japan and then went to Spain and then went to Scotland.
I legitimately hate you. But
June.
But I thank you for your service.
So it all comes down to this for me.
Now give me a howdy.
Never. June, now it all comes down to, this is what I'll say to you, and I want to ask you in all honesty, do you have a better idea of what a street fighter is or what a Highlander is? It's been a...
You know what? I think Highlander.
So you know what a Highlander is?
I think so. I think I have a pretty good idea.
Want to hit it back?
No, I don't. But I think I have a good idea.
Oh
and I'm
my
going to
gosh.
leave it at that.
So there can be only one refers to only one immortal, not
Yes.
only one Highlander.
That makes a lot more sense.
That's huge.
Because the
That's
movie is like,
huge.
I think, the
That's
idea
huge.
that there could be a movie called The Spaniard
Yes.
is helpful. Yeah, I
Yes.
think that makes sense.
And I wish it hadn't been delivered how it was delivered.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
But
residual
But I
here.
am grateful for the information.
Well, we can talk about the Highlander all day, and we can talk about the Spaniard all night. But there are some people out there that have a different opinion about it than we do. It is now time for Second Opinions.
The movie was a piece of shit, yet this person recommends it. Tell me what is the message? Maybe that art is subjective. I need a second opinion.
That is John LaJoie. The very funny, the very talented John LaJoie. If you
He's
have not
got a
checked out...
fantastic record.
Yes.
Go buy it on iTunes.
It's really, really great. So, John LaJoie, thank you so much for your Second Opinions theme. And these are 5-star reviews culled from Amazon. Not many. Not even many 1-star reviews. Seem like people passed this one in the reviewing matrix. They were like, not gonna even spend the time, but I do have a few. This one is from Kevin Gandy, written on January 31st, my birthday, 2015. Wrote simply, just what my child wanted. 5 stars.
To be disappointed.
This one...
Just what my child wanted. I'm a divorced dad.
I don't understand my son. This is written by Lon Sugara, and this is a tough one to make sense of. So it's not me, it's Lon. My fantasies get tickles by the dream. The truth about physics is revealed just by watching movies and playing games and eating good food and experiencing different things and hanging around girls. It's really just an oxymoron for just about everyone's cover-up of shit. 5 stars.
Wow. Like that's either really profound or it's a bot.
I don't know. We now go deeper into the pit. We go into third opinions. These are where we just see what people gave it, the 1-star review. This one is just titled, "What a Horrible Movie, ... And it says, I am just confused by this plot. Did anyone read this and say, hey, this makes no sense? 1 star. So that is the second opinions there. Blake J. Harris will probably go deep with someone to talk about this film. You can find his articles on slashfilm.com. I love doing this show. I love finding out different things. And this is something that I thought was well worth it. I have 2 things before we kind of wrap up. One is, well, I'll do this first. One is how the movie could have ended. These are the 3 different endings on the 3 different things. The fairy tale ending. Louise and Connor return magically to Zeiss, embrace in front of a field of stars, they transform into light, and fly into space. That is one ending. Okay? This...
Like all fairy tales.
Yes. There's a British version, which is 10 minutes longer, and it's closer to the original script, and it includes flashbacks and an alternate ending. They don't get more of that. And then the Renegade version, which is one that we've watched, is all references to the planet Zeist, and them being aliens are removed. And a lot of people think this is the best one because it doesn't severely change the canon. It doesn't because basically when they become aliens, it basically takes away everything that people have done.
I see.
And then they tried to make a Highlander TV show, and so Lambert declined to reprise his role. So they created a new character called Duncan MacLeod, who was also the Highlander. But then Lambert came back in and was in the show. So that kind of confused the mythology again to have 2 Highlanders. And then another Highlander movie called Highlander III, The Sorcerer, came in, and I don't know what happened there. But this is kind of my favorite part of the entire thing. This is Roger Ebert trying to explain the plot of this movie. And I'll just start it about here, because he talks some shit at the top. But all right, here we go.
Highlander II, The Quickening. The plot of Highlander II, The Quickening is one of the most hilariously incomprehensible experiences I've had in a long time. The immortals from the planet Zeist, who are caught in a time warp of their own involving the fact that they got oriented in Scotland 500 years ago, plus events in the year 1999 and more events in the year 2025, plus the cartel, plus the ozone shield, plus the mysterious killer, plus the beautiful independent scientist who exposes the secret of the ozone.
Him trying to put together the movie, and I think he does the best version of it. And that version, he said mysterious killer. Is there a mysterious killer?
Yeah, wait.
Is that Michael Ironside?
I guess he's not that mysterious. Yeah. All right, well, going around the horn, does anyone recommend this movie? Would you say watch it? I mean, obviously, not for quality. This is not the... This is not the La La Land of the season, but it's like, would you say it's enjoyable enough?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. It fucked me up.
It fucked me up.
I'm still I can't think.
Yeah.
I feel the same. I feel like the way maybe someone that was coming over to the New World would feel and when they saw the Statue of Liberty, but when they got off the boat, it was like now, and it was like they came from the 1920s. Like what? And like it's so much information. It broke me. This movie broke me.
It also is so convoluted that it's hard to enjoy on a like stupid level.
Yeah.
You know, like because I find myself continuously just trying to be like, wait. What's actually happening?
We're a group.
And
we're
as
in
a
room
result,
of
I'm not
200
enjoying
people.
the nonsense.
We're in a room of 200 people, and we're just about cracking some elements of
Right.
it.
Yeah. Right. But we're also like, we do this a lot. And I was still confounded by it. Anyway, so it wasn't as fun as I wanted it to be. But there's some like true nonsense that's pretty enjoyable, but not worth it.
Not worth it. Not worth it. All right, let's talk about this. So, Sam, you have a new show coming out on Comedy Central.
I do.
It's called The Detroiters. Tell us a little bit about it.
It comes out on Comedy Central February 7th. It's about two ad men who make cheap local commercials in Detroit. Stars me and a buddy named Tim Robinson. And watch it. It'll be on TV.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Everything I've seen from it so far looks really, really awesome. June, what do you want to talk about?
Nothing. I'll just plug two podcasts that I really love, Bitch Sesh and OMFG, also
Nice.
on Earwolf.
All right. Nice, Jason.
I'll just say, it's January now. It's 2017. We're living in a new world.
Yeah.
But like, if you haven't caught up with it, like, why not watch the Gilmore Girls revival on Netflix? Don't worry about it.
June and I have just started the Gilmore Girls, and we're powering through season 1 right now.
Ooh, it's great.
Loving
It's really
it.
good.
It's only going to get better, and then it's going to get real bad for a minute, and then it's going to get real good.
Kind of like that moment when, like, in Friday Night Lights, when they killed.
When they killed that guy.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
And then
what
everybody
is
was
this
like,
show?
JK, that didn't happen.
Sorry, football.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Except we murdered someone, right? Are we murderers?
And the tornado wipes it all away. She's having sex with a teacher, not cool. So you can sign up for the How Does This Get Made mailing list. You can find out about shows in your area because we'll have all sorts of cool mailing lists. A big thank you to everybody who makes this show possible. Marissa Zeitz, who helps us put this live show together. Everybody at Earwolf. Avril Halley for cutting together these amazing clips. Watching a Highlander II documentary. Not only did she sit through Highlander II, The Quickening, she sat through a documentary about Highlander II, The Quickening. So thank you to her. Thank you to Nate Kiley for doing this amazing research. And thank you to all these people here at Largo. We appreciate you. We thank you. And we'll see you next time.